Can you improve yourself as an Asian guy, even if you hate spending money? Here are some tips on how to get the male self-care products, but for cheap.
Oh, we got to talk about it because, Andrew, it is consumer season. Long story short, I was looking through some Reddit posts. I was looking through some men's help channels on YouTube, some men's magazines. And I was just thinking, listen, guys, I love all the advice that you find in these videos, but oftentimes they are trying to sell you a product that is way overpriced.
And you know what happens when it's overpriced, David? People look at it and they're like, well, I gotta buy this and this and this and this. What? My skincare's gotta be $200 if I wanna look better? Well, I'm just not gonna look better. This is not for me. I'm not gonna buy anything.
You're right. People get overwhelmed. So today, guys, I'm going to give you some budget looks maxing advice that literally is gonna be good for anybody. I'm not saying the way more expensive items are not better, but they might not be worth it. So anyway, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. But you know what is not overpriced?
Smala sauce, made with real truffle, made in the USA, very delicious, out of a squeeze bottle, easy to use, will make your meals more tasty.
You know what, Andrew, just to give people an example right off the bat, Andrew, here's the bro mask off Amazon.com.
Okay.
It is $14 a piece for a face mask. I'm not saying it's not quality collagen, hydrating, or whatever, but you can get them for as cheap as 30 cents a piece on AliExpress or 60 cents a piece on Amazon. Because I know some people might be like, dude, I'm not gonna get something and put it on my face from AliExpress. I don't trust it. But I'm like, listen, we're talking about something. I'm not saying the more expensive face mask, Andrew, is not better, but is it 3,600% better?
Yeah, and you can tell that they're totally marketing it towards guys and marking it up because they're like, oh, you're a guy who wants to wear a face mask? We'll call it the bro mask, put it in black and white, make it look masculine, and then we'll upcharge you. But to be honest, it's probably not that different, maybe a little bit better, but really not that different than a mask that's $1 each.
Right, so today what we're gonna be doing is breaking down items that are 70 or 80% as good as the expensive version, Andrew, but as cheap as 10% of the price.
Yeah, and I think, again, I wanna reiterate that oftentimes a lot of guys are overwhelmed at some of these routines and some of the pricing of some of these cool high-end products. And it's like, guys, you don't have to get that product. If you get the product that is 70% just as good, but you start using that product, you start using moisturizer, you wash your face, you get a face mask, you get a haircut. It doesn't have to be a $200 haircut. A $40 haircut.
Because especially a lot of Asian guys, Andrew, were raised frugally, value-minded. If we get like a $100 moisturizer, we might not even feel comfortable using it enough for it to be consistent and sink into our skin.
Dude, I had the same issue, man. I have a $40 moisturizer, and I started using just a little bit of it because I'm trying to be conservative. But then my girlfriend was like, what are you doing? Why'd you buy that if you don't use it? You have to use a lot of it. Your skin is important. And I was like, oh. So, good point.
Hey, listen, guys, a lot of this advice, I would use it myself. I personally use 50-cent Amazon face masks for myself. So I'm not like a stranger to taking my own advice. Andrew, I took a look at GQ, Esquire, Maxim, Men's Journal, and I analyzed a super low cost but high quality version of all the things that they advertise in men's magazines. What do you think that they advertise typically?
I mean, high-end stuff.
Watches, fragrances, liquors, wines, puffer jackets, sneakers, like all types of headphones, fancy home decor, TVs, projectors, and like quality of life improvement things like $200 doppel bags for when you travel.
Wow, look at that lamp. I bet that lamp is at least $200.
And of course, Andrew, most of this stuff is based around consumption. However, we do have to acknowledge, Andrew, would you say that you do need some of these things in life, right? You can't write off everything in men's magazines, but you just don't need to buy the tier that they're advertising.
Yeah, you don't have to buy the 10 out of 10. No way.
Yeah, so anyway, guys, Andrew, well, let us just start with liquor, okay? Right now, tequila's really big, right? Andrew, a 750 milliliter bottle of Don Julio, and this is even if you get it not at the club, by the way, you just buy it from the liquor store.
1942.
Yes, is $150.
Yeah, it's expensive.
For that same price, and I'm just gonna go extreme here, guys. I'm not saying get to, Costco tequila. You can get a entire half gallon of Blanco tequila or Reposado, Andrew, from Costco for $50 each.
Right, and that's going to be comparable to Casamigos. Maybe not the same, but it's going to be comparable.
Yes. Like close enough.
Right.
Like close enough that, Andrew, with your leftover savings, you can literally buy these like decanters or like liquor holders that look like agaves from Amazon, right? You could buy a lime cutter, you could buy a margarita / tequila shot salt rimmer, and a Himalayan sea salt shot glass for the same price as that one bottle of Reposado that's way smaller.
So you're saying you can purchase an entire almost bar set and the tequila for the price of just one bottle of tequila.
And you could have way more tequila.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, if you have the Reposado and the agave, theme bottle, nobody's going to really stop you and be like, wait, are we drinking 1942? Are we drinking Don Julio?
Right.
I don't know. That's just my thought. Andrew, moving on to wine. Andrew, for the price of a cheaper, higher rated wine, and I know you know about wine. Andrew knows about wine. He doesn't show it on the channel. No. You know more than an average person.
I know something.
You could, these
are aerators.
Yeah, if you go with a cheaper bottle of wine. Okay, but it's still highly rated, whatever. Just go off the one off the website. You could buy decanters. You could buy an entire bar cart, and you could have room for all types of fun things that your guests are going to like.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, guys. Don't spend too much money on wine. Great wine comes at like $30 max.
Right, and literally, you would have to be, a 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 expert to start tasting the more hidden notes?
Most people, even most girls, most guys who say they like wine, they can enjoy a $30 wine. It's totally possible.
And we say this as people who are really into sneakers. I'll admit that if you just have a 7 out of 10 sneaker and you're better at someone than basketball, like anything short of a terrible, you're still going to be better than them.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that much. It's just we're into sneakers. We're sneaker aficionados, but it doesn't really matter. If you're better at basketball, you're just better.
Right.
Listen, Zara, H&M, and Forever 21, they actually carry everything. Did you know,
fragrances?
Yeah, they carry lotions and everything. However, I'm not going to say that the all-in-one solutions are the best solution. But yeah, probably of all the three, if you want to just have a one-stop shop for like a men's magazine, it would be a Zara, right?
Zara, I think, is probably the best play. It's a little bit more expensive than H&M, but slightly higher quality.
Right. Of course, you can keep going down the line. Andrew, F21 used to be the cheapest. Now there's Shein, and now there might even be levels cheaper than Shein, like a Shein budget outlet.
So, David, what do you think about buying the moisturizers and fragrances from these fast fashion stores? Could it get the job done? Not that it's better or that it's better than the more expensive stuff, but could it get the job done?
It's highly unlikely it's going to dry out your skin.
Yeah, it's not going to hurt you.
It may have more of like cheaper ingredients or fragrances that, it depends on you as a person. You could be sensitive to it.
Is it better than nothing?
It's better than nothing. However, today, Andrew, we're giving the 4.5 out of 5 rated cheap tier replacement items.
Okay.
Let's get to the fragrances.
David, fragrances are big. A lot of these men's channels say, oh, well, you got to spray, you got to tap it on your neck and then have your hands. So when you talk with your hands, you get that. How do we need to spend $250 a bottle?
All right, here's the thing. You don't want to be a guy that is eating Cheeto dust with pimples on your face in front of 3 screens saying, dude, fragrances don't matter. It does matter, but do you need to spend $420 on a 3.3 floral ounce bottle of Creed Aventus?
$420 is crazy.
And we could go down in $33. There is a bottle of El Haramain Eau de Perfume, whatever, that is a imitation clone fragrance that a lot of reviewers have said is a 90% match for Creed Aventus at $33.
Wow.
And if you want to go cheaper, Andrew, there is a Creed Aventus impression. It's like a roll-on that you just roll on your neck. You don't even spray it because it's so cheap.
Right.
It's $9.
Woo!
So it goes to show you, literally, I think having even the $9 one, depending on the situation, could be better than nothing. Andrew, for Blue Day Chanel, this is a fragrance that we actually own. It's $184 at retail.
It is pricey.
Andrew, considered a 90% knockoff version is $40, and you can get a 10% knockoff version that's still 4 out of 5 stars for $10.
Wow. That's insane.
Christian Dior Sauvage, Andrew, $155 at retail. The cheaper versions go down to $30 and then $10.
Insane.
Talking about athleisure. Athleisure is a really big segment for guys right now because you can wear it out, right?
Guys want to be simple, but at high quality. It's form-fitting, makes you look good if you're fit. No one's going to complain. It's classy enough.
If you want Aloe Yoga or you want Lululemon, which are, you would say these are sort of your brands that you get advertised in GQ or Esquire.
Yeah, I mean, a pair of shorts is like $68 at Lululemon.
A performance t-shirt, Andrew, is $70 at Lululemon. Is $78 at Nike, and these are the better looking Nike tiers. Nike has so many tiers, right? Like $55.
Expensive.
Yeah, you're starting to get down, Andrew. Fab Athletics. I'm not saying, you know, because they kind of scamming with the subscription model.
No, just make sure you cancel your subscription.
If you cancel your Fab Athletics subscription right after you make your big order, Andrew, you know how much a similarly shaped and like the cut is similar for like athleisure dry wicking, moisture wicking shirt is?
How much?
$7.50.
Woo!
Andrew, that's 1/10 of the price. And you know what I want to tell people about this? The cut of the athleisure really means a lot, right? Because you can buy sort of like the Dick's Sporting Goods Nike tier, and it looks even worse. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like the whack Nike.
Oh, yeah.
Like the cheaper Nike tiers.
Yeah, because there's different tiers.
Yeah, there's different tiers. Moving on to just jackets or shirts. You know what I think is going to be a great solution for most guys who don't want to spend a lot of money but want to look better? A shirt jacket, a shacket.
Okay.
Or an overshirt. You know why? Because you wear it like a jacket, or you can layer it so you have the optionality.
Right.
So I think that for most guys, that's going to be the best play. Andrew, look at this shirt jacket / overshirt from Zara. It's $90. The Kith version is $250.
Woo!
Do you think your average person can tell the difference between the Kith flannel overshirt and the Zara one?
No way.
Moving on, Andrew. The YSL version is we have an All Saints version of a bomber jacket, $200.
Right.
You have a YSL version that's way more than $200, and then you can go to Zara and get one that is $110 on sale for $80.
Easy.
Moving on to this long button like brown overshirt, the YSL version, $800 on sale. All Saints, $180. The brown Zara version, Andrew, on sale for $50.
Woo!
Why do you think people think, okay, I got to get one version, or I got to get nothing at all?
Right. I think it's intimidating. I think it's overwhelming. I think when you watch some of those channels and they're like, oh, this is what you got to do. This is what you got to do. Do this with your hair. Get this makeup, blah, 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 or skincare, workout, blah. It's like all these things. And just someone who's just trying to get started is going to look at it and be like, man, that's too much, man. Maybe I'm not meant for this, man. Maybe that's just meant for people with more money. I'm a dude. I only make I make $12 an hour. How can I afford any of this?
Right. I mean, that's like me saying, yo, you got to start at the gym. You need to go to Equinox for like $175 a month right off the bat.
Right. I'm just not going to go to the gym. I'm never going to get a gym membership.
Did you guys know that Planet Fitness, Andrew, it's $10 a month, right? It's 24 hours a day. It depends on your region, right? Did you know that a lot of Planet Fitnesses have added a platinum add-on for another $10 a month? You can get a sauna access.
Sauna access for $20 a month.
Yes. Somebody said occasionally H&M has one that's good, but it's rare. So I'll say this. Once you get into the lower ones, you could still find some quality pieces, but there's just a lower probability, right? Like, it's not to say H&M doesn't have quality pieces, but it's just a lower likelihood even than Zara. What do you think about these ultra cheap shirts, Andrew, from Shein and, Forever 21, where we're talking about like $10 jackets, $15 jackets?
I mean, they work, man. If you can fit them, they fit. I'm not going to say I love fast fashion in all aspects, but at the end of the day, if it helps you become a better man and be more productive and feel better, then you should buy Shein.
Yeah.
Go buy it.
I mean, listen, guys, you can just get a heavy, cheap coat at Uniqlo. Maybe you want to get a cooler color. And I'm not saying that I still don't keep up with fashion, Andrew. Recently, I hit up somebody because at a Hypebeast store, I have a connection, and I wanted to get the Bape Canada Goose collab from this year. It's about, I could have got it under retail, right? Like, I think the retail's $1,800. I could have got it for like $1,200. But ultimately, I thought about it, and I was like looking at Uniqlo puffers and stuff, and I was like, Uniqlo makes some camo puffers that I could get for $50.
Dude, $1,200 is still a lot of money.
Yeah, and it doesn't look that different. Yeah, I get it. I could resell the Bape Canada Goose thing, but I was just like, dude, girls, they don't really care.
$1,200, you could buy a super, super sick tattoo for that much money.
Yeah, change your life. Moving on, Andrew, as far as skincare products go, there's so many channels, and even there's posts where guys are using like $100 products.
Yeah, and listen, again, you don't need the $100 product, man. Just get started. There's a great products for $10. I know even not all girls buy super expensive products. Some girls, they just buy in the Clearasil, regular over-the-counter face wash. Like, you don't have to get the Korean, Japanese skincare. You don't have to get it.
Or normalize getting like the lowest tier of it.
Or you
it's
can
still
just get
highly ranked per dollar.
Yeah, the cheap Japanese Korean one could be.
For example, Andrew, Cantu hair gel is $5 on Amazon. It's $15 at CVS, but Cantu hair cream is considered like the lowest tier hair cream, but it still has really good ratings for the per ounce.
Right.
You don't need the high tier stuff because essentially, like the higher tier stuff, it is made out of better materials, but the most important thing is that you're just using a hair cream.
Yeah.
Bluetooth speakers, Andrew. Do you think any girl is gonna get with you based on what tier of like audiophile accessory you have? If you got the Bang & Olufsen or you got the Wilkins?
I think the only time that details like that really matter is when your entire lifestyle is built around that aesthetic. Like I know guys whose apartments.
You're talking about the penthouse.
Yeah,
guys
it would make sense if they have Bose or AirPod Max Pros.
You're
like,
saying a JBL
only.
would look out of place, like a purple
There's
JBL
certain
would look.
people I know who maybe shouldn't be getting the lower product because they've built their entire lifestyle around high-end expensive
Right, they got mahogany
products.
all over the crib.
But if you don't have a Bluetooth speaker and this is your first one and your lifestyle is not based around aesthetics, then just get a There's tons of decent Bluetooth speakers out there.
Right, worry about
having
if you got a girl over and if you're playing the right music, right?
Yeah.
You can even get speakers refurbished, renewed on Amazon. There's all these other websites under 30 to 80% off already. You know what I mean? Like, guys are just like, they're too caught up on like, oh, I got to have Marshall. I got to have this brand or that brand. I got to have a Bose or something like that. It's just people too caught up in it. And moving on to watches. Did you know that right now on Amazon, you can purchase a Hulk Rolex, right? We're talking about the Submariner for $23,000.
On Amazon?
Yeah, because you know how Amazon's like got all the tiers from the resellers or whatever. But you can go down, Andrew. You can get a Seiko, which is a Japanese brand. You can get a SSK 003 for $400.
So looks good.
You can go down. You can get an Invicta Pro Diver that literally looks exactly like a Submariner or a GMT or whatever for $65. And you can even get, if you want to get cheaper than that, an OLEV for $39.
Right.
Don't show off the OLEV necessarily to your friends with their Submariner, but like, it ain't wrong.
Like if you don't have a watch, just pay the $50 one.
Yeah, listen, if you want to get this G-Shock aluminum angular face hexagon one or whatever it is this is, Andrew, compare this to the AP Patek that's also rainbow colored for $250,000. Yes, is it different? For sure it's different, but I'm just saying for the average guy to get it done in your life, who knows? Maybe you get the base level one, you start your business, or you do some good investments, then you go get the one later in your life.
Right.
Just start off with something. Luggage. Do you think people care what luggage you have?
Not really.
But how come it seems like luggage companies, they spend a lot of money trying to convince you that your life is going to change if your luggage changes?
This is definitely one thing that I don't believe in. Like there's something to be said if you have good luggage, but really I think it's like the last thing you do when you upgrade your life.
Right. Because people want to just, stun on other people in the airport terminal or something like that. The only thing I would avoid is this soft side luggage that looks like it's from like TJ Maxx or like...
Oh, like the one that's made out of fabric? Yeah, that one's it's not cool.
You know, the one from like Goof Troop's like Family Adventure from like 95.
Yeah, it looks like your mom from like Ohio uses
Right.
No.
But listen, Andrew, even the tote bags that fit on the luggage, right? They have the luggage strap where you can fit your carry-on handle through it. You could get a $200 version or you can get a $25 version. But they both will have the exact same functionality.
Right.
Random quality of life gadgets. I mean, I think ultimately when it comes to this zone, people got to identify if they really value having the Philips version of, that sunrise alarm clock versus the cheap Amazon version.
Right. Or what Hue light bulb do you want? Do you want the Philips Hue that costs you like $80-$90? Or you're going to go with the Amazon that's like $25.
Right. Because there's highly ranked projectors that still have Android TV built in for $100, or you can get the Samsung Freestyle 2 that is $600.
Right.
And you can connect it to a Marshall speaker that's $120, or you can get the Anker Sound Core Playtime for $20. So I guess what I'm saying is like people got options.
Right.
And you can get this TCL speaker TV setup mounted to your wall for $200, but you could get the same version for $2,000.
Wow, man. David, you're really putting people on game. You can really have all these things in your life, maybe just not the brand name, but you can have all these things in your life for like a fifth of the price.
Do you think a girl is going to be like, is that a TCL? Is that a
No one
TCL
cares.
sound
No
bar?
one cares. Unless you're a tech geek, no one cares.
Right. And have you ever seen, even in the highest end, Andrew, like doctors' offices and stuff, they always buy TCLs and like Roku TVs because at the end of the day, they know they don't want to spend for a Sony. So anyway, Andrew, ultimately, listen, guys, let me know what are your other like low, middle, high suggested points. I think that people got to start off at the low point, Andrew, and then I think anybody, literally, even the rich guys would be fine at the low point, right? Like literally, if you're wearing a face mask on Sunday night, you're good. But yes, there is different variance in quality. So it's like, I just tell people, stabilize yourself at a low point. Take a look at what aspects you want to have at a middle or high point, but don't feel like you have to start at a middle or a high point to get in the game.
Right. Get in the game, get going, get the ball rolling.
Let us know other suggestions you have for like, budget looks maxing in the comments section below. These are ones I just thought of off the top of my head because I was looking at so many buyer's guides for the holiday season and I kind of got mad because I was like, bro, a lot of people, even if they got the money, this is not a good use of their money. Anyway, guys, let us know. Until next time, we're the Hot Pot Boys. We out.
Peace.